Was this weekend's uprising at the St. Louis Justice Center an out-of-control riot or a revolt over inhumane conditions? Mayor Lyda Krewson has announced a special task force to investigate what led to the chaos. This as protesters returned with demands on behalf of those inside.
And our Casey Nolan was there, and he joins us now live. Casey.
Well, Mike and Ann, if you take a look through the blowing snow toward the top of the building here, you can still see signs of destruction the inmates caused over the weekend, but there are very different views about what this damage actually points to. Shocking images for sure, but was Saturday's hours-long uprising at the St. Louis City Jail a failure to control inmates or the result of failing to treat them humanely?
Known to be infected.
Monday, protesters showed up outside the jail with a list of demands on behalf of those inside, held here by the city under judges' orders awaiting trial. Protesters say inmates are cold, often wet from flooding, underfed, and exposed to COVID. What do you want to see happen?
What I want to see happen, ideally, I would like to see that building behind me in flames, and the workhouse too. But realistically, we want to see the workhouse closed, and we want to see COVID positive inmates transferred to hospitals, and we want to see all of the demands made by the inmates met.
Only the most serious offenders are detained.
Monday, St. Louis Mayor Lyda Krewson announced a new task force will investigate what happened at the jail and the claims of poor conditions. But the mayor, the city's public safety director, and the man in charge of the jail all push back on claims it is inhumane. They say there are currently no cases of COVID. They say inmates have caused the flooding by blocking toilets and say computers keep the heat at 72 degrees. What they do admit isn't working, the locks. City officials say an inmate was able to jimmy a lock before getting in a fight with a guard that started Saturday's chaos. And the lock problems aren't new, first discovered pre-pandemic.
Detainees say one thing, and the jail and his corrections people say another thing. Let's see what it is. We believe that we run a very good operation here. I just think having the outside folks look at this will provide some credibility.
If they suggest that someone needs to be fired, are you going to do that?
We'll look at what the report says.
Now, the other situations weren't as visible as this weekend's, but this was the third uprising at the city jail in the last 40 days. And one possible factor city officials say is that they got a lot more people waiting for a lot longer in the jail because the city hasn't had a jury trial since last March because of COVID, and that's got everything backed up. And